Well, first of all, I know that Deputy MacDonald there was referring to the campaign of the Irish Council for Civil Liberties and other groups to have participation in the convention. I have to say, I agree with some of the points that the group are saying. They're calling themselves Hear Our Voices, that's their campaign. But I don't agree that they should be members of the convention, because I think to include civic society groups within the membership, I think that would actually distort the convention in terms of its being representative, because civic society groups are not necessarily representative. They don't have a democratic mandate, and what groups would you include and what ones wouldn't you? Now, I do agree that their input and expertise should be used as part of the convention, and I agree with the points they've made, and I 100% agree with them that the time for debating before the setting up of this convention is too short, particularly in the Dáil here. I think the time is much too short. I want to make the point as well, I think that there's much in our constitution that we should protect and preserve, and it's not necessarily a regressive thing to be a conservative when it comes to conserving progressive things that have been achieved in the past. And there's much that is good in our constitution, and people fought for those rights that are enshrined in our constitution, and we shouldn't mess with them. We should be very careful about what rights we would take away in the name of so-called political reform. And thirdly, I want to make the point that, and by the way, just in that regard, personally, I don't have a problem with the convention looking at our electoral system, but our electoral system is the most democratic electoral system, and I personally would fight to my dying day to protect PRS TV, and I hope that's not one of the things that's changed by the convention. And thirdly, I absolutely agree with the points that I think it's very wrong that this convention doesn't include the issue of the Seanad within it. We have a constitution which is based on a bicameral system, and basically a three-way system between, the Dáil and Seanad on the one hand, and the President. Well, the President then, secondly, and then the courts. That's the way it's built up. It's similar to the American Constitution. Many constitutions then were modelled on or at least a couple of them were modelled on the Irish one. For example, the Indian Constitution. You can't look at the Dáil and Seanad the Dáil in isolation from the Seanad. You can't look at the presidency in isolation from the Seanad, and I think it's a mistake. And the problem with it is that this government will never look at the issue of Seanad reform. It'll just be an all or nothing, abolish or not, and I think that's a mistake.